Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, November 14th, and I am at it again. There's a reason for this. There's twofold again. We have Big Brother news, and I want to talk about Bluesky a little bit more again as well. It's been busy on both fronts yesterday. First of all, those of you who heard yesterday's CarCast podcast, as my friend John, a.k.a. Useless Traffic, pointed out to me, I apparently said Twitter a lot when I meant to say Bluesky yesterday. So, yes, I've been told, and I'm aware. All right, so, the Big Brother stuff. So I kind of hinted at it yesterday, right? I gave a kind of roundabout, hey, there's a rumor of this stuff going on, and I'm kind of leaving it at this kind of vague, but I wanted you to at least know a little bit. Well, as it happens, last night, around 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Tucker announced that he was going to be going on Instagram Live with Robina to talk about the stuff that I was hinting at. And I don't think I mentioned Tucker or Robina's name last night or yesterday, but it was Tucker and Robina that I was dancing around. And they said what happened. What I am going to tell you is pretty much everything that Tucker and Robina said last night. So this isn't rumors, this is right from them. Some people did record it. I know that Sharon from Entertainment Weekly, and I would guess that maybe Mike Bloom was also in the Instagram, because they did a live Instagram. There was at least 2,500 people in there. I did not stay for the entire thing, but I stayed for all the relevant stuff as far as I know. By the time I left, they were talking about playing games or something. It was like, okay, they're done. They're just having a FaceTime meeting and letting 1,500 people watch them, right? Because by that time the audience had also decreased. So, and I still don't know all the details of what recently happened, or even what happened before, but I've picked up bits and pieces, and Tucker seemed to confirm all this stuff in the way he described it. He did most of the talking about it, but the gist of it is that, remember, Tucker and Robina are a couple, right? They are still together. Well, they were romantic in the head of household bedroom, and we kind of knew that. We've talked about it, and these things have happened in previous seasons. But what hasn't happened in the more recent seasons, there have been clips that have made it out on the internet of things, people under covers, and you're like going, oh my gosh, they're doing something. But Big Brother has really clamped down on that now. And if something is going on in the head of household bedroom, they don't show us the feeds. However, they're still recording it, they're still watching it, and the house guests are told that they will be on camera all the time. So they're aware of it. But there is a level of trust where they trust that whatever's going on there, if it's of a certain level of things, it isn't going to be broadcast, right? And so they eventually let down their guard. They forget the cameras are there, and they're just doing what they're going to do. And that is what Tucker and Robina did. Someone involved with production, now I cannot say CBS employee, fly-on-the-wall employee, whatever. I don't know who employed this person, but they worked in the production of the show in some capacity. One of the people involved with the production, and I think it was only one, and again, this is someone who I've never had any relationship, never had any contact with. I do not know who this person was, so I'm not, I was oblivious, and the people that I've always had contacts with and involved with the show have never done anything like this, and they never would. But someone whose name they said, and I don't care, I'm not going to do that. That's you. If you really want to know that stuff, go digging further. But they shared at least a portion of video of one of these encounters between Tucker and Robina. They shared the recording with a group of people outside of the Big Brother production community. Some people that should not have ever seen this stuff. They actually, I don't know if they showed them a clip, if they recorded it on their phone. I don't know if they actually downloaded it and shared it. I don't know how it made it there, but they did. And this group chat, you see the term GC out there a lot on the discussions for group chat. So these are Twitter, I think. They could be Discord groups, but it's a group of people that were hanging out with this production person online, And they were saying, look at what I got, and look at this, and look at this, and then talking about it and all this kind of stuff. And, I mean, it's totally inappropriate. I don't know if it's illegal or not, but it is definitely way beyond the bounds of anything that should have happened. So that's the gist of what happened at its bare, at its core, right? And we actually heard about this, and I can't remember who all heard about it, and they may have even seen a clip or something, but I know that Dingo talked about it briefly. This was during the season that this leak came out, that people heard about this, but it was never figured out who was doing it or whatever. And Dingo talked about it. Dingo got word of it and said, I'm not doing anything with this. I don't want to know, keep me out of this kind of a thing. And so we'd heard about it. We hadn't heard details. Well, the details that came out in some form very recently, like this past weekend, were somehow the person who did this was exposed, and that person actually got to know, because the house guests, once they get out, a lot of them will hang out with the production crew. They get to know them over the course of 90 days or 100 days. And so some of them become friends with people involved with production. And this person that did this with the video actually befriended or became friends after the show with Rubina and Tucker, or at least Rubina. And so they were actually hanging out in New York this past weekend, when this all blew up and people pointed out, however it came to Rubina and Tucker, that's the person who did this with your video. And it was all done in chats and stuff, and da-da-da. So it all came out, and that's what Tucker was talking about. And that's the extent that I think we need to go into it, right? That's the weirdness, the strangeness, they're still trying to figure things out. But Tucker confirmed, yes, that was the person. Yes, it's been confronted, and da-da-da. That's about the depth that they went into it. Just that they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to cope with it. And they really just part of them just wants to move on with their lives, right? There's nothing they can do about it, really. I mean, will there be lawsuits involved? I don't know. Who knows? But do we really care about all that level? Do we care about that level of it? Really? I don't. I hope they get whatever they deserve. I hope it gets figured out and everything. I'm very concerned about how this could potentially affect the live feeds going forward, although I think I may have said this yesterday. If you consider it, what happened, I don't think they can say we'll not have cameras on in the head of household room. I don't think they'll say we won't be recording things. There's a level of trust that was broken, but I don't think you can say, so we'll never do this again. But does that mean they stop sharing the live feeds? I don't know. Maybe they'll just say, you know what, we can't even take the chance that maybe this will get aired. Even though it didn't, this came out through another channel. They may just say, we're just done with recording 24/7. We're only going to record during the day. We're only going to record in certain rooms. I don't know. We're only going to broadcast certain rooms. I don't know what they may do. But they may just say we're done with the live feeds too, which could change completely. So we don't know what the fallout's going to be yet. But I am sure there's going to be some level of fallout. Okay. The other thing that was mentioned, I just want to touch on it really quickly, is that apparently this person affiliated with Big Brother in some capacity, she also was lobbying to get Joseph voted out. So that introduces all kinds of questions. I mean, she basically was the people have messages for her on either the group chats or online or wherever saying, I can't remember the wording, but it was the equivalent of Joseph's got to go, kind of to get rid of Joseph or whatever it was. It's like, that's not good. That's not a good look when you have people affiliated with the show participating in an online discourse about whether somebody should stay or go. So that's a whole other issue. But again, this is one actor, one person. I say actor, not an actor like a actress, actor. I mean, one person was doing it. It wasn't a big conspiracy of a bunch of people. It doesn't sound like it. It really sounds like it was one person who just should have never been hired, and it was, yeah. So that's the big Brother news that I wanted to expound on, and the reason I'm really doing this. As a side note, I'm going to touch on Bluesky very briefly, but I did want to get that out there, and then we can move on. I'm trying to give you guys the information because a lot of you are kind of out of it, but this is something that's not going to go away, and it's going to be talked about, going into next season. And I wanted you to kind of have the straight information as best as we know, so you aren't reading rumors and innuendo and all kinds of stuff. That's the best information I have, and I really don't think we need a whole lot more than that. That should be enough for you to go, okay, now I know, now I can move on. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. All right, so Bluesky, again, for those of you that may not have heard yesterday, Bluesky is an alternative to Twitter. It's been around for almost 2 years, if not 2 years. I first got into it April of 2023. I tried to get people into it. It kind of was that nobody was really buying into it. Twitter was still okay. And over the last week, a lot of people have decided I want the heck out of Twitter and I'm making the jump. And today, I talked about it in my last two podcasts, so I'm not going to go into it too deeply, just to say that today it started crashing. And it started crashing because it's getting so much traffic and busy. It's having problems. And for those of you that are trying it out and checking it out and they're having difficulties, just take a deep breath, just wait a little bit. They'll fix it up, they'll get more resources up, they will fix these problems. It's a good sign that they're having problems because it means they're really getting a lot of business, a lot of traffic. My follower count yesterday when I left work, I want to say I was at, 20, whatever I said, 2,100, 2,200, maybe even 2,300. I'm now at 2,600 or 2,700. I've gone up another 300 to 400 followers, which may not seem like a lot, but we're talking, it's moving up. It's quite, it's active. And these are active people who are interested in interacting and doing things, not bots, not fake stuff. And I am certainly not able to keep up with what's going on. There's so much going on there. So it's a fun place to check out. Listen to my other two previous podcasts if you want to hear a lot of detail on it. But just understand, for those of you that have jumped into it or thinking about getting on it, it's kind of crazy right now, to the point where the pages won't load, things are breaking, it says invalid handle is all over the place. And that just means the server was not able to, the program, your app or your web page was not able to pull down the image that's supposed to go there. And so it's an invalid handle. It's all over the place. It's kind of a running joke now. It will be a long time running joke. I'm sure years from now, invalid handle is going to be a joke word for something's broken. So anyways, that's what's up with Bluesky. It's a great problem to have. And again, I'm very excited. I am still on Twitter. I am not planning to leave Twitter completely, but I am not, if this trend continues, guys, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be like, well, hi Twitter, how are you? By the way, I'm back over here, and go right back to Bluesky, because I personally have problems endorsing Twitter anymore, given the current situation, and things have changed in the last week. The owner of Twitter, and I keep calling it Twitter instead of X, but the owner is, I can't. I can't endorse his actions, his thing. I just can't. He should have stayed. As I said to my friends at lunch today, we were having a conversation. By the way, this is in the afternoon. I have the afternoon off, so that's why I'm doing it now. But my friends at lunch when I was leaving work, we were talking about he should have just stayed in rockets and cars. And when he got into social media, it's been a train wreck ever since. And so I'm still there, but I'm really leaning into this Bluesky thing. I just think it has the potential to be so much better than Twitter was, and it is. You have a lot more control. But that's the part that makes it a little bit difficult for people, is there's so much control and a lot of tweaking that you have to do. But those are all things that are going to get figured out, and it'll get better and better now that there's even a bigger base growing and growing that want to use it. The more people that are there trying to use it, the more interest developers and people that can help you and make things easier are going to, there's a lot more people now. 20 people want this particular thing. It's not worth my time. 2,000 people want this kind of thing. I'm going to do that. A case in point, my friend John, again at lunch, talking about the ability to make a post later, like to queue up a post to go out later. Well, there's not really great tools for that, I guess, for Bluesky yet. But now there may be. People are going to look, now I really want this. Let's go build these things, and they will do that stuff. So it's very cool. All right, with that, I'm going to go, and for those last thing, it's Bluesky is what it's called, but it's bsky.app, I think is how you get to it. I have a link on my Twitter account. If you can't find it or you need help, you guys know you can just reach out to me. Email me, ilovereality@gmail.com. I will eventually see it. Although right now I am quite overloaded with all kinds of information coming at me, but I don't ignore anything. If someone asks me a question, I answer it, even if it's to say I don't know. Okay, there we go. That's it. I'm almost home. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I do not plan on doing another one of these for a good while. Okay? I just had to get I've done two in 2 days and one last weekend or whatever. This is not a regular thing. It just was it's just been quite crazy on both the Big Brother front and on the Twitter/Bluesky front. So take care. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.